Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wellness Day, a podcast coming to you every Wednesday here from the Jahangir Wellness Center. My name is Kavas Jahangir, and here from the JWC studio, I've got a very different guest from ones that we've had in the past. We've had scientists, we've had doctors, we've had therapists, we've had patients, we've had people who've done their wellness. Today, I've got someone who's talking to us about financial wellness. I've got Kuntal Shah. He's the head of Oaklane Capital. He's on the board of Flame University, and he's the wolf of Dalal Street. Thank you so much for being here, Kuntal.
Pleasure is mine, Kavas.
So, as I said, today is a slightly different one. People think about, we've been talking about wellness in exercise, nutrition, in obviously the medical health checkups, mental well being, lifestyle, talking to doctors from all the way about cancer to gut health. People don't think about financial wellness. And that is something that we want to focus on today. And at the Wellness Center here, we talk about holistic wellness. So I thought it'd be good to have you talk about financial wellness. So why don't we start by telling us what wellness means to you?
Yeah, so I was intrigued that what was my connection with wellness, but yeah, now since you frame it that way, I think so. Wellness, the concept of wellness has four pillars.
Yeah,
Uh, Physical health is obviously one,
right.
mental health is second, emotional well-being is
Mhm.
third, and I think so. Financial stability and financial literacy and financial wellness is a fourth pillar. I think so, which is required for a very harmonious living and a progressive lifestyle.
Right, right. And it, particularly for financial, and I look at you as a mentor for in the financial space. And the reason I want to talk to you in particular is because it's not, financial thinking from the stereotype that someone thinks, oh, this is a thing to get rich or let me do something quickly. It's a it's about financial well-being and financial independence. So what is the difference in your experience of being rich versus being financially free and financially independent?
So, Kavas, these are two totally different frames.
Right.
The frame of richness is, is moving towards abundant access, having disproportionate wealth to your requirement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a luxury framework.
Yeah.
It's, over the top kind of a
Mm.
framework where
Fancy cars,
where
fancy
where yeah,
watches.
there's no limit to it, and you can go down the
Yeah.
slippery slope. The financial wellness, on the other hand, is a frame of safety, peaceful comfort.
Mhm.
It is a shock. Having buffers to absorb shocks which occasionally come through healthcare or through marriage or through some special situations like that. So
Mm.
the two frame are totally different. I think so. Rich is pursuit of wealth beyond financial well-being. It's way beyond financial well-being. But by financial well-being is being financially literate,
Mhm.
having a budgets in place, having your financial planning in place, so that you have a peace of mind. You must be aware that stress is one of the biggest disorder which
Absolutely.
can affect your physical health as
Absolutely.
well,
Hugely.
right? There's anxiety,
Mm.
there's mental disorders, so and so.
Mhm.
So if you have, anxiety about unpaid EMIs or retirement savings or whatever you have,
Right. Yeah.
that will impact your well-being in
Mm.
general. So being rich is a very different frame, and being financially savvy, literate, and well taken care of is
Yeah.
all about freedom. It's all about peaceful. So it's
And one doesn't have to be a financial guru to have that.
no, not at all. It's just having very commonsensical things.
Mm.
And one of the mistakes I see, especially the new generation
Yeah.
making, is they earn X, they spend Y, and whatever residual is left is savings.
Is Y more than X or is X more?
No, but actually it should be reverse. It should be you earn X, you have a pre-planned saving
Right.
Y,
Mhm.
and then whatever's left over should be your
Spend.
entertainment and spending. So if you just invert this frame,
Mm.
you will ensure that you have a constant drip of money which is being earmarked for rainy day,
Mhm.
and that is what will create buffers and help you to ride out all your kind of financial anxiety and all the associated pain.
Right. So that actually is a good question that comes to mind is that what is the one financial sort of tip or sort of advice that you would give that can open the door for someone's financial well-being?
Well, I don't have to say Shakespeare has written that hundreds of years back. Never a borrower or lender be, like basically learn to live within your means, so
Means
you don't have to take recourse to leverage.
right.
And second would be obviously inculcate habit of constant savings every
Mhm.
month. So you spend what is residual of savings,
Okay.
and that creates your buffer that over a period of time compounds very well.
Mm.
And if investment is done in very well, it could create a retirement nest also. So it gives you pathway to, financial freedom.
Hmm.
The financial wellness is all about freedom. Freedom to do what you want, freedom to
Right.
exercise your choices
Mhm.
rather than, having very limited choice. And I've seen many relationships being broken over money.
Mm.
People are in unhealthy relationship for money. It's all about. I think the financial well-being leads to emotional well-being
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. So I make a lot of connections with. I enjoy physical activity now, especially in the last 3-4 years, and at the same time, I also actually ever since COVID, I became a big reader and um, hobby of investing as well. So I've started noticing a lot of similarities between the two. For example, just being consistent in the gym, doing the same thing financially, or just trying to incrementally be better every day,
Yeah, yeah.
doing the same thing every day.
Both
So do you see a lot of connections
uh,
in that
health and wealth compound
compound?
every
Yeah.
day. Every day, the choices of saying no to dessert, saying no to
Easier
junk
said than
food,
done.
easier said than done. But those choices which we make define both our outcomes on both
Right,
left
right.
and right front, and they compound.
Hmm.
They compound because every single slippages contributes to adverse outcomes,
Right, right.
both in finance and both in
Hmm.
well-being.
Can you give us some interesting examples of compounding? Because compounding is supposed to be the eighth wonder of the world, right?
Yeah, so in financial compounding is known, right?
Right, right,
Right. The future wealth you will have will be a function of the rate of increase and the longevity of the increase.
right. Longevity is
Longevity is
important.
very important. So I'll give you a simple example. Warren Buffett is a well-known
Absolutely.
legend in
Yeah.
the investing world.
You're just a few years behind.
No, no, nowhere comparable. But yeah, so if he had stopped earning, or if he had a fatality, the touch wood not
Right.
they had at the age of 60, nobody would have even heard about him,
Hmm.
because 98% of his wealth is accumulated after he passed 60.
Wow.
The longevity of life has led to longevity of compounding,
Yeah.
and that's why both go hand in hand.
Exactly. The
That's it.
longevity of your health is there's no point in you slogging out in the financial world when you were 30,
At some
40,
point
and
of
if you're
time,
going to
yeah, at
drop
some
dead
point
when
of
you're
time, your
50.
financial investment need to work for you.
Yeah.
You should have your core career, but at some point of time, your assets should earn day and night for you,
Absolutely.
and they should compound, and that is what creates personal wealth.
Yeah. And that's the other thing also that why I've also been focusing on my health, particularly in the last 4 to 5 years, or being more conscious about it, is that I want to be I want to have great quality of life when I'm 70 or 80, when, hopefully these kind of things are happening for you as well. You can enjoy the financial freedom and so forth. There's no point being in bed for the last 10 years of your life when you have all the money in the world.
So there's two concepts here, Kawas. One is longevity, which is just your lifespan.
Yeah.
But there's another concept. How much is your health span?
Hmm.
There's no, as you rightly
Yeah.
pointed, there's no point in living till 80s and 90s and having a very bad lifestyle, or
Yeah.
confined to
Yeah.
bed, or be on the lot of support.
Mm.
Uh, the whole thing is the quality of life,
Yeah.
the ability to have a normal well-being life, normal diet, normal non-assisted life is what we should be aspiring for. And I think so a daily dosage of physical activity is
Hmm.
very well known to assist that,
Yeah.
and help you overcome all of the problems of lifestyle diseases, as we
Right.
call it.
Right. Right. So as I mentioned in the start, that you were also on the board of Flames University, so you get to deal with a lot of young people coming up, starting their lives. What is the one or two tips that you would give them to set them right on their path of financial wellness?
So we start them off with at Flame. Actually, we have a financial literacy course,
Right.
which is a compulsory for the first year student.
That's so good to have. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, because many people, including doctors, including professionals, are
Yeah.
very unaware of the implication
Mm.
of finance. So we inculcate basics of the budgeting, planning, saving, compounding of wealth,
Right.
the avenues, asset classes, taxation, credit card spending,
Hmm.
all
Patience.
kind of basics. Yeah, because I think so. In my opinion, financial literacy should be start. We should teach it at the age of 15, 16, 17 onwards,
Yeah. Yeah.
all the way till they graduate, because bad financial habits are known to ruin some of them. I'll give you an example. 50 Cent rapper was bankrupt.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson, when he died, was almost bankrupt. Boris Becker, Boris
Yeah,
Becker.
Boris Becker,
He
he's
had to,
few years ago.
yeah, a few years ago, declared person. So these are the people who created infinite wealth
Right.
through their craft and skills,
Mm.
but because of the bad spending, financial habits,
Yeah.
they created a mess in their life. So,
Mm-hmm.
just earning is not enough. Preserving and
Is
compounding and saving it for later days is also
absolutely.
very important.
So coming back to you then, Kuntal, the industry is a very noisy and can be a very stressful place, sort of up and down emotionally, as with the stock market and so forth. What do you do to keep the calmness and keep the noise out for your day-to-day mental well-being?
Yeah, so having been in the market for almost what 3.5 decades,
But because there's a fair amount of responsibility that you have in terms of being the custodian for people's wealth.
so one thing is, digital detox is one thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Staying away from screen is a one big thing. It helps you to calm down. I get a lot of pleasure in, um, hanging out with college friends,
Okay.
small circle, uh, watching a movie, listening to music, all kind of, normal things. But just the digital detox is the most important stressful
But do you
buster.
find that easy to do?
Yeah.
Are you always trying to see what the green
No,
line or red line is?
no. I typically tend to switch off towards evening and on weekends for sure.
Okay.
That's my way of keeping the balance between the calm and the.
Right.
This.
Any last financial words of wisdom you'd like to leave us with? Or any otherwise, it doesn't have to be financial.
Somebody wiser than me said that chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken.
Okay.
So both financial habits and physical habits, I think so the earlier you start on the right path, the
Set you
better
right.
and the richer will be the dividend.
And then the compounding lets it do its own thing.
Yeah.
Well, Kuntal, thank you so much for your golden words. It's been a pleasure having you today.
Thanks a lot, Cars. Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and see you all next week for another episode. But before you leave, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons right here at the bottom. Thank you.